What up, though? It's your boy, Charlie Lyric. Back again with another episode of I'm What's on Your Heart? Where I'm asking what's on your heart, what's in your heart space, what you got going on, what you been up to, how you doing? Okay, I'm late. I'm late to the party. I'm not always late. Maybe I should just change the time, but you know what? Even if I change the time, I'll still be late. But I need to work on that. Hey, Queen Bee Divine, how are you today? If you want to come up and talk about what's on your heart, feel free at any point of the show. All right. So before I get started into the tarot portion, we usually go over some philosophical topics, but like I said, this week is kind of like a toss-up week because I got a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts, and I'm taking care of a lot of stuff. But I was like, you know what? I made a commitment, and I want to stick to it. I'm going to try to show up. I'm going to try to get some readings done, even if we don't do a whole bunch of readings, even if it isn't a long, drawn-out portion of the philosophy part, then. But I think I just want to talk about something that's super important, to me at least, also to other people as well. There's a lot of people, mostly, and I'm to men because there are men. Recently, I had to do some work for a person. Um, he was a man, and we talked, and he had a lot of stuff going on, and what he expressed to me, I had never seen before. I'd never seen that. Seen him in particular express like that. He got very vulnerable with me. He got very open. It was very, honestly, very cool to see someone who is I always seen so strong and so masculine be vulnerable. And I myself, over the past year or so, have been working on vulnerability, becoming more compassionate, being more empathetic. So I just want to note, hey Tony, down there in the audience, how you doing, sir? This light, I like this mysterious shadow side that is putting over there. It's pretty cool. Oh, we got somebody coming up. Okay, so hey, how you doing, Queen Bee?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm doing
Hey,
well.
Anthony. I hope you're well. I
Uh,
hope you're well, Anthony, too.
so what's on your heart today? What you got going on?
Well, I'm just listening. I was just listening to your, what you said. I would, I don't want to interrupt your space because I know you have to do some readings, but I noticed that you're talking about vulnerability and just trying to be more transparent. And I think in the society that we're living, people are really hungering for that because I don't think anybody has realized that the people who are successful now got there very messily. very, in a big
Yeah.
mess. So, I think if we
And
move
it,
forward, if we can just be honest and be truthful and be transparent and vulnerable and say, you know what, every day these things are happening to me, but I've learned tools to not only settle myself because I have to be present in the world. I think people would do a lot better if they knew that, no matter who you are or what your background is or what your job is or how you're perceived on the social media or in front of people, you still put, as they say, put your pants on one leg at a time, so to speak.
yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Because I've uh, I've been holding this space for almost a year or so. Oh yeah, a year and 2 months. I started in April last year on Clubhouse. What was on your heart? What's on your heart was that space, and so far I've seen a lot of. I appreciate and I still hold this space for women, and I think it's a great thing. But the one thing that I don't get to see a lot of is men coming into the space and sharing what's on their heart and talk about what they got going on, and just being revealing in that way, because it's such a big deal for us as men to alleviate that pain. And I'm just witnessing a lot of that happening. I'm seeing it and how the world is and everything like that. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get you up here um because it's important.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, my husband is a great example of that. He grew up in a very his dad was one of those 50s, 60s guys, dinner on table at 6, 5, your wife does this, da, 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 da. And when he met me, I was not like that. I was very free spirited. Greetings, Anthony. I was very free spirited. And I had to teach him because, masculinity has been running our society. Even when we talk to God, a lot of people say he. God is a he. And I believe that when we leave out the feminine aspect of it, we close off ourselves to a part of God. And I believe God is very compassionate. So I believe a lot of men have to open themselves up to that side of the creation, to be compassionate. And it's okay, because look at nature, it's all compassion for us. Even if we're, complete terrible human beings, the trees still give us oxygen. It's compassionate to our journey because it hopes that we will make better decisions with every breath we have. And I believe that men, unfortunately, have been pegged to being, you've got to do this and you've got to be strong and you cannot cry. But I believe that even the sky cries with its rain. So I think it's necessary to release so we can be better human beings. And I think we should all have a space, or at least open a space for whether our partner, whether the men in our life, to say it's okay to be vulnerable. I ain't judging you. I just want you to be a better version of who you are. And if this helps, I'm all for it. Let's get it out in the open, and so you can grow.
Yeah. Hey Anthony, how you doing,
Hey,
sir?
hey, hey! I was leaving you a message in there. I'm a little busy right now, but I'm
Okay.
listening. So I'll jump in maybe about 10, 15 minutes, but I'm listening.
Okay.
All
Wait,
right.
I didn't force you on stage, did you? You actually requested to come up, right?
No,
Oh my
no,
bad, yo. I don't, look.
no, I
I'm
didn't.
I'm still learning how this works. I'm really still learning. Like, so when I see the little plus and I think, oh, he's requesting to come up, and like I'm steady
Hey,
clicking it.
no,
I'm like, it's not working.
don't feel bad. Jill had to teach me that too.
Look, I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So hey, I'm just hi, Queen Bee Divine.
Hey,
Good to see
Anthony,
you
my
here.
brother, how you doing? How you doing this week? How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. Just doing a day job way too much.
Right,
So,
right,
but
right.
anyway, I'm going to mute myself, and I'll be back in about
All right.
10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. All right.
All right.
See you later.
See you later. Sorry about that. But yeah, like and and just saying, it's important and significant for men to give space to I think, one another, and just, you know, be able to express what it is that's on their heart, and just what's on their mind, because every single day, that same aspect you're talking about, where it's like, you can't cry, you can't speak out loud, you can't say this, you can't say that. And the world's not telling us that per se, and in ways it does project it onto us. But at the same time, when we're taught that and it becomes a habit, we kind of get numb and get stuck, and it's not really fair. And so, just in that experience and in that way, it was a very beautiful thing. And then, like, I would really love for you talk we do it like in a way we go, like, we talk to the fellas, we talk to each other, and we sit down and we have that conversation with each other, and we see what we got going on and all that different stuff. And even in that way, that space is still hard for us to, like, say it and how we're trying to give it and everything like that. But I just want to push the narrative of, even when you're being vulnerable, and even when you're talking about what's on your heart, and we're talking about your feelings, and having to get into these harder spaces of yourself, like, you're still masculine, and you're even more masculine for doing it, because you're secure within yourself. And society is just riddled with people who are dysfunctional and toxic and don't know how to express themselves and show compassion to one another. And so what ends up happening is they project those things onto other people that are honestly trying to be in that way of expressing themselves. And it's not entirely fair. And I see it, because and I'm gonna slow down on it. I want to take a day where I don't do any social media at all, or at least a week, because it's a lot for me. And that'll probably be like next week, where I don't do any social media at all, because I just see so much and I hear so much, and there's so much negativity, and
Oh
I
yes,
don't
my
know.
brother.
It's just,
You speak in truth. I had to take a break myself, and I'm going farther away, and that's why I'm focusing on just doing me, because what I got out of the experience is that and I don't want to sound conspiracy theorist, but this is how I grew up and how my mother, because she was a woman who dabbled, not dabbled, but she was in the healing arts, and she had certain ideas about people. And I think they, just because someone created a social media doesn't mean that the problems in the world are not onto social media. But she used to say, when you're out doing your life, living your life, and you're telling your story. And I kind of learned this the hard way, and I'm learning, but it's okay. Is that when you're on social media and you're talking, I can hear my mom say, "Remember, not everybody likes you. There's a lot of negativity on there. People don't realize there's enough room for all of us to succeed, but a lot of them don't get it in their head. So you have to take a break for social media. You have to step back and look at yourself. And even the same aspects of men, men could just take a step back and say, "Wait a minute, do I need to fill this space with aggression?" Or can I be compassionate? And I think that's a valid question, just like women. I grew up in a very aggressive household, and I had to step back to find my own femininity. I was like, wait a minute, where's the woman in me? I'm all dog. I was like, "Arr, rawr." Everything was a problem for me. And I realized I was missing the compassionate part, that femininity. And I really had to just step back. So just like social media, I had to step back to say, wait a minute. Not everybody has positive vibes towards me, and I have to continue to do my thing. So I step back from a lot of it, and I'm just focusing on. I always focus on me, but I'm not so into the social media because there's a lot of energy, and I'm a sensitive person, and I can feel it, So, you're this all ties in with the same thing with men. Men feel that this, if from my perspective, excuse me, they feel this pressure to be more masculine. It's okay to say, you know what, I'm feeling sensitive right now, or I'm feeling like I need to do something. All the more power to you, because I think it brings more empowerment to you when you say, I know myself well enough to say, this social media is great, but I gotta step back. I really do.
yeah. And so, you know, uh, for everybody out there watching on different platforms and everything like that, and can't join the conversation, feel free to go over to CharlieLyricTarot.com and leave some comments, or just chime in on the conversation on the YouTube video that will be posted up later on today. And if you feel like you can put some input to it, and you feel a certain way about it, and how men deserve this space, and how men should be more so invited to do that, and do it in a safe and secure way for men to honestly feel that expression, I think it would be dope. I think of a lot of us guys, like if we had more people say it's okay to say how you feel, I think a lot of us would be different. I think the world would be kind of a different place as well, because we don't really get the opportunity. And then most of the time now, we're very afraid to say what we feel out loud. We're very afraid to say what we want to say, and it can be tough sometimes. So I always hold the space for the women. I always do my thing for the women. And I always show up for them and everything like that. And I've never excluded men from the space at all. But I thought today was a day where I would say that, because I saw someone who had a very strong presence in my life, and someone I always seen as a really strong person, just be honest with me. And I got to do work, spiritual work for them, and I hope the medicine that I gave them will get them to a better place. Or I should say, the remedy. I'll say the remedy instead of a medicine. The remedy that I gave them will get them to a better place, and get them to open up and feeling more light about the situation, because he deserves it. So that's all I wanted to give to that. If you wanted to give any more, Queen Bee or Anthony, I know you guys kind of got up on stage, and I kind of pulled you up on stage. Sorry about that. Or okay, Anthony, I put you up on stage. But if you want to give any energy to that before I move on to the next segment, because I didn't do any readings this last time, so I'm gonna try to do some readings today. We're gonna try to get some readings in, make it a little lighter. I'm not saying that the stuff that we've been talking about is tough, but it's very cool to talk about these things, but I still want to be like lighthearted and just laugh a little bit and get into some good old readings. So, yeah.
Nah, you're not doing any readings yet. You ain't doing
What you got something to say?
no readings yet. I told you I'd be back in
Okay.
about 10 minutes. So I'm back.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so check this out.
Mm-hmm.
You're in my heart, right? You
Mm-hmm.
do know
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was saying, Charlie shows tonight. And I've been working all day. I've been doing these 11 and 12-hour days on the day job.
Connecting to the internet. It looks like an
So
Sorry.
so I said, I'm still supposed to, do a meeting with Charlie, but I just don't think I'm gonna be able to do it tonight. But I said, yeah, we need to talk about being a man and showing our heart. So your topic tonight is exactly what I was going to talk to you about privately.
Cool. That's awesome.
So you and I are really, really connected. Okay. So both of us have gifts.
Okay.
And and I kind of know how you grew up. And I grew up in New York, out in Long Island. So anyway, but we didn't show our feelings. We didn't do that. And then, me, somebody that has gifts, I'm feeling stuff about people and this and that. I know who everybody is, and what they're going through. When I was younger, I would try to bring it up to friends, people that actually needed some help, but it was going to be some real conversations, you know, and they never worked. Never. Okay. Now I'm an adult and I kind of know who to have those conversations with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can have those conversations with you, no problem. But
Mm-hmm.
I also have these conversations sometimes with strangers. Even on our show on I'm Right, I told a story about how Jill and I were on vacation. We went to a concert, and it was one of those concerts where you sit at tables.
Yeah.
So there were several women and me and another guy. And we start talking about writing and all of that. But no matter what I said, he said the opposite. He was always coming at me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know that feeling, that aggression. For
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason, he kept coming at me.
Yeah.
So um we were like right on top of the stage so we could touch the performer. So the performer said, "Hey, I want everybody in the audience to turn the person next to you and tell them you love them." I didn't have a problem with that. Okay. So everybody did it. But when I got over to him, I actually hugged him and said, "Hey, I really love you." I said, "All of this other crap, this disagreeing stuff, and I say this and you say that, and we keep coming at each other." I said, that ain't nothing. That
Mm-hmm.
ain't nothing. That's surface stuff. But
Yeah.
the real deal is, I love you. You can come at me any way you want, but I love you.
Mm-hmm.
And it just blew him away. He didn't know what to do, but he didn't come at me with a negative.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So in your case, if you if you show who you are to people you grew up with, people you're around all the time, and you come at them with love, they're kind of going to be like, he's soft. He ain't nothing. He's soft and won't have respect for you. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand how that is because they're really coming at you once they think you're soft. They're trying to do stuff to you. Um, but you have to pick and choose. You
Definitely.
know what I mean? You really have to pick and choose. So when you identify who the person is that can receive it, um, then you give it. You had your I don't know, the show before the last one where you didn't
Mm-hmm.
show up. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
And but your reason for not showing up was for connecting to someone and having, like a 5 6 hour conversation.
Yeah, that's the person I'm talking about today, actually.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, cool, cool. But see, that's somebody that can receive it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how to tell who can receive it. So
Mm-hmm.
just I know you want to shout it to the mountaintops, but they're not ready. Like for me, I have gifts, and I know Queen Bee Divine knows I have gifts, and I've never told her that. Because actually, last week was the first time we spoke to each other. But you have to be careful on who you speak to about what you do, because some people can't receive it, they can't accept it. And if they have negative stuff in them, they will try to destroy it. So a lot of this is about protecting ourselves, even though we want to help.
Yeah. And
Any comments?
yeah, yeah. Especially I'll start from the back and go all to the front. So
Okay, cool. You can remember that far back?
yeah, I listen to you. That's my job.
Well, I can't. I can't. I'm an old ass dude. I forget stuff right after I say it.
Okay, so for in the sense of who I am and my gifts, my mentor, when he we went through some things, and he said to me, he said, Charlie, now you have to decide if you're going to tell the world who and what you are, or are you going to keep it to yourself? He was like, I'm going to let you decide on what you're going to do, but you're going to have to do that. And I said, okay. And in that moment, I decided way long ago, I am a root worker. I am a hoodoo. I am a spiritual person. I'm a God in flesh. Like, I'm not going to hide that. Like, I'm not afraid to say that out loud. At one point I was. And, it was difficult because when I walked around people and I said it, they get afraid. But it's okay.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it's okay is because when you have Black spiritual power, and when you're in the presence of Black spiritual power, it can be overwhelming. And some people, they have brittle spirits. They can't handle that. Their minds can't conceive what it is that they're perceiving. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. And, that gets their spirit stirred up. And if their spirit gets stirred up and they get pushed away, that just means they're not meant for my energy, because that's who I am, So even before I walk into a room, my energy walks before me. So by the time I get in,
No, go ahead. I'm saying amen. Go ahead.
even before I step into that room, my energy, my spirit is already in front of me, and I'm walking into that room, and people's eyes immediately dart to there. And my mentor would tell me stories about it and everything, and he would try to get me to the point of receiving myself and being open with myself and being honest with myself about who I am and what I am. And he would get on me so hard at some points, not hard in a way where he would cuss me out or nothing like that, but hard in a way where he would be giving me some tough love. He'd say, you real insecure, like, you got to stop being so insecure, like, you are who you are. So that part was the part where it was like, okay, I understand now, this is who I am. And I've been quiet for a really long. I've been really oppressed in my entire life. I mean, when you're oppressed as a person, like, it shows up in different ways. And I'm the type of person where I get quiet. Like, I used to be a fighter, but somewhere along the way, I lost that fight and I started backing down from people. And it's not because I'm afraid of anyone. It's because I know what I'm capable of, and because I am who I am, and I know what I'm capable of. A lot of shame and a lot of guilt came out of this stuff that I've done before. So with that being said, like, I got to a place where I shut down. But even that part was a part of, I did a lot of shadow work throughout the last year or so, where I had to get to this place where I had to accept who I am and what I've done and where I've been, because if it wasn't for all of that stuff, I would not be this person today. I wouldn't be able to heal people. I wouldn't be able to talk to people. I wouldn't be able to hold space for people. And so, with that being said, I understand my role in life, and I don't shy away from that. I'm not shy about saying it. I know, I'm an observer. I'm a philosopher. I'm meant to challenge people. I challenge everyone's, belief system. I challenge everybody's perspective. That's what my role on this earth is. It's not just to heal and defend and all that different stuff, but it's to learn what life is and learn faith and then teach people that. So with that being said, like, you know, I get in front of people and I do it my own way. That's the one thing I've learned to accept too. I do it my own way. I have to do it my own way. There's nobody in the world that would do it like Charlie Lyric, and I know that now. So, you know, moving forward, I honestly, I want to say that out loud, and I want to continue to do that. And it doesn't matter if the people around me don't like it. They've learned to accept it. Like, matter of fact, I told them, I don't care who I become. I don't care who I am. I'm gonna be me, and you have to love me because I love you. Like, you know, we family, we bloods. But
Yeah.
so
Yep.
as I walk into the world and I look at the world, I got a lot of messages before I even started doing this. I know what it's gonna look like. I know what it's gonna become. But you know, you can't fight who you are. You know, and I think that's the thing and that's the reason why I say these things, because there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us who are spiritual people, who are oppressed, who are beat, who get shut down, who won't let people. Won't let them talk out loud. But I do this for every spiritual person. So, and that's one part to me anyway. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get to a point. I'm gonna get to a point because I know I'm kind of rambling, but the point of it all is just the fact of I appreciate that, and I love you too, and I appreciate the fact that you're trying to speak that energy into me. With my Chiron being in Leo, I don't think that I'm as great as everybody else thinks I am. I don't think I'm super talented. I don't think I deserve the center stage. And with Saturn teaching me all the things with Saturn in Aquarius is a generational planet. So a lot of millennials are going through that phase of they are kind of loners. They don't get around other people. They don't work well with other people. They experience certain things. Or where Saturn in Aquarius is for me is I experienced something at a young age in high school, and it damaged my self-esteem, and it stopped me from showing up. It stopped me from putting myself in the places I deserve to be. And you know, when your north node is in Capricorn and your south node is Cancer, and I know I'm trying my best to give it all. North Node in Capricorn means that you're meant to stand into the on the platform of society and do societal work, healing work, most likely social work, things like that. And then with South Node in Cancer, it means that I'll sacrifice myself for my family, my comfort place, because that's what I've done throughout my other lives. My comfort place is family, love, all that different stuff. That's the reason why, like, you know, I know it so well. And then there's other aspects where I'm not even going in. I'm trying to get to a point. But so to just say, I get it. And I appreciate the fact that you're trying to speak that life into me. And I feel it. And I'm gonna run with it. I'm gonna resonate with it. And I'm trying my hardest every day, every single day. Like, people don't know. It's a real fight for me to get onto this camera and say the stuff that I say, and to use the cards, to even make the TikToks, to do any form of all of what I've been doing in the past 5 to 6 years. Well, no, seven to 8 years. Wow. But and doing all the work that I've done, it's been very difficult for me. It's been really hard for me, and so for you to say that to me and to speak that energy into me, I really appreciate it, and I receive it wholeheartedly.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Let me tell you something.
Hmm.
I do not have the knowledge you have. Okay. This is factual. Even the last time we all talked, there were things that were made more clear to me. Okay. Yeah, little questions, because I don't question much, but little questions that just were answered that I kind of already knew the answer to the last time we all talked. But I the way it works for me,
Hmm.
I know what people need. Okay. So, being that you said you were used to be a little insecure, but actually you're still a little insecure
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
doing what you're supposed to be doing, but you don't own it yet.
Yeah.
You're getting there, but you don't own it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that's one of the reasons why we were put together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm here to help you own it. I'm really happy that you just told me how long you were doing it because I'm going to help you with how to do it.
Okay.
So when I say how to do it, I'm talking about business. I've owned my own business since I was 23 years old. I'm
Okay.
63 now. Okay.
What's up? Yeah.
I know what you need to do to go to that next level, to
Mm-hmm.
the level that's going to take you to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. I can
So
feel
it's no, and I tell people all the time, it's no accident. It's no accident that we got together. It's no accident that Queen Bee Divine is here. It's just us three. Right? It's just us three.
and Dave.
And Dave just popped in. Hey, I can tell you about Dave. Dave is saying, so what the? Dave is saying, what the hell? What the hell? What the hell are these guys talking about?
I can feel it.
But no,
Yeah.
no. What I'm telling you is, I'm here for you, and I'm supposed to be here for you. This is what I do. I'm not supposed to do what you do. I'm supposed to do what I do. Um, Remember in let's see, our last episode, I'm right last episode. No, the one, it was the one before that.
Yeah.
The one right after we met, somebody said something, and I said, "Oh, you called me out for putting one of our guests on the spot." Remember that?
Oh, I did. I did.
Yes, you did. You said, "Boy, you
Oh
just put him
no.
on blast." And I said,
My bad.
I'm a, I said, "But you were laughing." I said, I'm a facilitator. I
Ah.
said, I'm supposed to make things happen. I'm the facilitator. So if
Yeah.
you remember, I had volunteered you without asking to do some readings. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. One of our guests, it was a husband and wife, and he was kind of on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I said, "Hey," I said, "what are you
I'm
afraid of?"
sorry.
You remember that?
Right.
I said, "What are you
Yeah.
afraid of?" And the moment I said that, he opened right on up. Oh, because
Right.
I knew that he needed to hear what you had to say, but I also knew he didn't have anything to hide. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's really he was really a good person, a pure person, but he didn't have anything to hide.
Mm-hmm.
So once I said that,
Yeah.
he jumped right in. Okay, he got a
Right.
reading from you. So
Right.
all you need is a little help with the business end of it, and your confidence, because you're the man. See, you just don't know it. You're as
Yeah.
confident as you are, you know who you are, but you don't know who you really are. Does that make sense?
Oh, what you mean by that?
Well, what I'm
What that
saying
mean? What that
is,
mean?
what I'm saying is, you you don't know how much you can change not just people, but the world. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
People,
I feel that. Nah, you know
people,
what?
check it out. People in general, like I said, one with my gifts, I know people. I know people very well,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
people, as much as they're different, they're that much the same. So, when we talk about lost sheep, most of them are lost
mm-hmm.
sheep. You have to direct them in the direction they need to go. Not the direction they
Yeah,
want to go, the direction they need to go. Um,
yeah,
and you have that ability. I just don't think you
yeah,
understand how much you have that ability. You can help people. You know about people, but I don't think you look at directing them to where they need to go. Does that make any sense to you?
you know, it does make sense. You know how I feel about it? I feel like this is how I think. I think in a way of I learned all these things. I learned all this information. I did all these things. I take time out every single day. I study. I study whether it's esoteric things or whether it's psychology, whatever it looks like. I'm always studying. That's what my time is dedicated to outside of my spiritual work. That is what my time is dedicated to. And I meditate on these things, and I really take my time with them to digest them. And when it comes to guiding people, how I feel is because people are attracted to me. People are attracted to me. They attracted to what I am and just my power in itself, and but also my light as
Yeah.
well, and along with that darkness too. Because with as much light, there is a dark.
Yep.
So there's a shadow to be casted. So with that being said, I attract a lot of people, and I know this of myself. And how it is I give people information, and it's interesting that you're saying it like that because life path number 9 is someone who is gone through every life path number. So it was 1 through 9, then 11 and 22. Those are the master numbers, and I think it's one more like 31 or something like that. I don't know, but life path number 9, you're meant to teach people. You're meant to tell people different things and give them information and stuff like this. And so if you go and you like search every part of what I am in some esoteric way, you'll see like teacher, mentor, divine messenger, things like you'll see stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, so when I give people information, I speak, and I know people are gonna come. What they do with it and how they do with it, I leave it up to them because I don't like controlling anyone because I hate people controlling me. I hate when people try to manipulate me because I'm pretty quick. I'm a lot more clever than what
Right.
people
And
think I
and
am.
and by the way, I'm not saying manipulate anyone.
Yeah, no, no, no,
What
no.
I'm talking about, well, what I'm talking about is being able to know who is ready to receive it.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? That's another thing. This is how I say it. This is how I say it. Don't laugh at me. This is how I say it for real. I tell people, it's not my job to worry about if you're ready to receive it, if you're open to it. My job is to give the message. Once I give the message, my job is done. I'm just a messenger. So a lot of times I've ran into people, they get really afraid. And I tell people, I calm people. I have that gift of calming people and, just easing them into it. Not even in a spiritual way, even though that is one of my gifts. Like, I just know how to talk to people and be honest with people and get them comfortable. So by the time someone gets to me and they were afraid, give me 5 or 10 minutes. They'll open up. They'll shut.
Okay.
They'll so it's like,
Yeah.
whether you ready or not, it's here.
Ready or not, here I come.
Yeah, you can't hide. Exactly. Like, you gonna get it. Cause it's
That's very true. Ready or not, here I come. That's how it should roll. Yes.
That
yeah.
that
But
that's
I
that's
don't
right.
I believe that, because because when you were talking about north nodes and south nodes, we have the same ones, generational, all that good stuff. Capricorn and Cancer. You're here to heal, and I know that and I've met many people where a message will come through spirit, and the universe was like, you better tell them. And I'm like, but just do it. And I do it. Ready or not, here I come, because I believe you're a servant of the great spirit, the creator, and you work on that time. And whether someone's ready or not, they will have to take it. And yeah, they'll ease into you. But I love that what you said, because that's how I roll. There are many times where I tell people, like, I know you don't know me, and this might sound weird, but I got a message and da 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 da. I need to tell you this, and they go, "Wow, how do you know?" I'm like, "It ain't me. I'm just telling you. I'm just a conduit, and so take what you want from it. I'm just letting you know what it is." And that's sometimes how I get clients. People are like, "Do you do dreams?" Well, I do. I can help you interpretate them. I can help you heal, but I love how you said that, and I love how you're Anthony. You are truly a facilitator, facilitating him to get to to get to what he needs to get to, because he's needed in the world. Yeah, I'm talking like you ain't here.
I thought he left the stage. I had to look up at the screen.
Right?
he got he got so quiet.
You are needed. That's my final thought. You are needed for now. Like, just know that. And Anthony, you say it very beautifully and eloquently. You may not know the tremendous power that universe wants you to hold or know you have, because there's a lot of people on this planet who need your services, who need your gift. And my gift, Anthony's gift, yes, they'll resonate with some people, but if we can help everybody get to who we are, because we all have gifts, and if we can all say, hey, you know what, that ain't my expertise, but I know somebody who can do that, I got you. You can manifest more people coming to you. And I'm not saying you don't believe in yourself, but the more belief and faith in you have for yourself, the more the universe will send you people to work with. And I'm seeing it work out into my life. What I want to do is have a show who deals with mental health. And I'm like, well, how do I get guests? And I put my energy out there because, like Anthony, I'm a facilitator. I want the conversations, the tough conversations coming out. And now, I am booked up to the end of November with guests, and because I'm believing that I can do it. I know I can do this. There's no ifs or and about it. I can do it. So I love this. I just want to say that. I had to say that, Anthony. Your fabulous energy. You know this already, but I'm going to say it anyway. So it's really nice to see.
I love hearing it all. I'm always saying love, 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 love. I love it. And by the way, both of you were right. Sometimes you just tell them whether they ready or not. I mean, both of you are right. And I actually have done that on many occasions. Whether they're ready or not, I just tell it and I'm out. And let the message go where the message goes. But the conversations that the three of us are having, we had it last Tuesday also. For us, it gets to be a kind of lonely. Not really lonely, not lonely like, oh, I don't have anybody. More lonely like, but my people my people that understand are all spread out, and we're being quiet. Um, and we shouldn't be quiet, but we are, because we have to step lightly, where we go and what we say. Um, I hate to say this, but my first marriage, she didn't know I could do this. I never shared it with her. There's a whole lot of people in my life that don't know what I can do, because I say I know people, and I do know people. So once a person has established in their mind who you are, they can never see you as anything else.
Yes,
So
amen, amen, amen. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, yes. It's difficult. Well said, Anthony. Well said. Well said.
thank you.
First, you
I'm
weren't.
just feeling
No,
that
you
one.
weren't.
It's very true. Once
Yeah.
people establish, because like you said, in the marriage I am now, I made it very clear to my husband the first time I met him. This is what I can do. This is what I do. This is so. If I get up in the middle of the night and I said I got to do this, talk to spirit, or I got to wrap my head and put. I got to talk. I got to go to the water and make my offering. Whatever it is, I got to do.
Whatever it
I
is.
need to go do it. And he's learned it. I taught him I make it say I taught him everything, but he's learned from observation that even one time, quick story, I was going through the spirit and something I was moving. I was doing the work to remove this energy off of me. And I said, if I pass out, do not touch me. I taught him what to do. This is what you do. And, don't call ambulance because they don't know what to do because they don't understand. But I need you to pray over me
Right.
because I'm doing work. And he knew exactly what to do. And he goes, thank you. I never knew, blah, blah, blah. But he's seen me in work. He's seen me do it. And you're right. We need to tell the black community, our community, we are here. There are people who still do. Charlie, these are people who are working in the energy, moving energy, clearing energy. We are here. And, I have to admit, I was kind of afraid. Last week, I was the first time I actually said it out loud beside my husband, not in my family. My mother knows. My mom said I would get the calling. Don't hide because they'll come chase your ass down. And sure enough, they chased my ass down and found me. And I even said to Charlie, I saw, because I met Charlie way a little bit back then, and I said, Charlie, I knew you were coming, and not him per se, but I knew the energy would come knocking on my door, and he was that door, that knock, going, "Hey, you got stuff to
That,
do, right?" And I'm like, "Ah, shit."
that's right. That is exactly right. That's how it is. And I said it last week. Spirit tells me, "Hey, you supposed to do this." I I can count on one hand the amount of times that I said, "Why?" You know what I mean? Tell me, look, this is what you're supposed to do. And I'm telling you, Charlie and Queen B Divine, both of you have more knowledge than me about all of this. But well, check this out. In life, I am not a follower. In this realm, I am not a follower at all. I'm a leader. But in the other realm, I'm a follower. You tell me what to do, I do it. Plain and simple. It doesn't matter how crazy it seems, I will do it. 5 years ago, I was told that I'm a great orator and I'm supposed to speak to the masses. And I'm like, but I don't want to do that. Look where I am
Oh, well,
now.
dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for
when,
sure.
yeah, yeah, but afterwards, I'm going around. I told my wife, I said, no, they told me I'm a great orator. I'm supposed to speak to the masses. She said, how are you going to do that? I said, I have no idea, but they told me I'm going to do it. they'll let me know what to do next. And they did.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. But seriously, every time the three of us talk, I learn something. It's like, oh shoot, oh, that's what I was wondering about. Okay, they gave me the answer now. It came through Charlie, it came through Queen Bee, but I have the answer now. I wondered it, I never asked it, but now I have the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So this is incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and I know that the both of you know it also. I keep, to the people in this world, in this living world here on Earth, um, they don't understand the real connectedness we all have on this planet. It's hard for them to comprehend,
right.
but it's been shown to me and I felt it. So I know. So when people are just finding any reason to hate the other person, they don't understand. It's almost like just hating themselves.
It is not even. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm just jumping on. I'm gonna jump on that ship. It is.
Right.
It is. It is. That's why I'm so careful. When you put out your energy and and I'm back in the day when I had my diva hood hat on, and I was about attitude and I'm right all the time. I would I don't like that person, and then I realized it, but that's just me. That's me telling me
Yep.
that I don't like myself. So
Yep.
I had to learn to give love because that's all I want. That's all I want. Yes, there are
Yeah.
how they say, tough love, but there are ways that you can love yourself and love others and still educate them to be a better version of themselves. You know what I mean? You can say and go, I love
Absolutely.
you. I love you, and I would love to see you shine more in this area. If there's something that you know that they're not going towards, you don't have to say, I hate you, and you're not doing it. Because I realize it's just saying I hate myself. And I have stopped hating myself a long time ago because it does
A
no good to
long
me.
time ago.
Long time ago. It makes me
And
it makes me tired. It makes me I don't like it. So I love how you say that. It is true. I believe that if you say somebody I hate you, you're basically telling yourself you hate that aspect of yourself.
yeah, yeah. And I'm going to tell you something else I noticed about the three of us. All of us, Charlie, and Queen Bee, you have told your story many times on your regular show, right? My life was rough growing up. My father beating up my mother and calling her all kinds of names. My mother was severely dysfunctional also, and the things she did to my older sister and all of that. So I was really messed up for a long time. Didn't even know I was messed up. But all of us have gone through some bad crap.
Mm. Mm-mm.
So we all know what it's like to go through some bad crap. So when we talk to people that been through bad crap, we understand. We don't
Yes.
come from a place where we don't know what it's like. I was depressed my whole life
You
until
must be.
just recently. I said, well,
Yes. You. I really feel that. I remember days, and I'm sure you can attest to this, Charlie and Anthony and Woody, maybe who's listening, could probably attest to.
Woody, me and Woody go
Woody,
bike
what's that?
riding.
Woody's in the house. Okay, but I remember there were for the most part I would be mental health that name didn't exist back in the day when we were young, when I was younger anyway. I remember that I would be in bed for days, weeks, and I just couldn't move. I was so sad. I didn't understand. Like, and I'd play the victim, oh God, why? But I didn't know that God was bringing me through, or the universe was bringing me through stuff. So when I talk to people, I can go, yeah, I feel you. You don't know, you're preaching to the choir here. My mom, like Anthony, same beginnings. My mom she was a tough ass. She got beat up by men. She beat up her kids. When the kids beat up each other, we were we were just beating up each
Mm-hmm.
other. And that's why I had to leave such at an early age, because at 11 years old, I knew that if I stayed in the house, I was either going to be dead, get pregnant by my stepfather, or I was going to get raped by a bunch. I knew it. And I said, and I remember the Spirit of God came to me and go, it's time to go
To
now. And I'm
go.
looking around the room going, who's talking to me? And I just said, why? Like, you remember you said, you asked why, and Spirit said, go. And I packed my bags at 11. I never went back. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a big long story in between it, but we've been through some shit. And there was a day where I used to regret the shit. Now I'm like, you know what? Thank you, because I realize a lot of people are just going through it now, and Charlie, you, Anthony, me, and many others, and maybe even Woody, are there to say, you know what, you're gonna be okay. There are times you're gonna hold yourself in the corner and cry like a little baby in the fetal position and go, dear God, what's going on? But you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
okay. You're going to be okay. And no matter how dark it got, because I'm sure we can all attest to, it gets dark. Some days it gets
Yeah.
so dark, you're like, what is happening? And I can attest to thinking about suicide. I can attest to thinking about, I just need to get off this planet. How do I get off this? I even believed in
That's that's right.
somewhere over the rainbow. I really believed if I clicked my heels enough and believed it, I would get out. But I clicked my heels so many times, nothing happened. But I would cry. I would cry.
Nothing happened.
Go through it.
Still here.
And that's our power. We know that no matter what we do, we will survive. And with that belief, that's why our gifts have been given to us, because we know that no matter what, we will survive, and we can help others survive. So it is definitely a testimony to all of us. And there's no accident that the three of us have met. There's no accident.
No, yeah, no, you're right. There is no accident. Charlie muted his mic, and I don't see him anymore. But that's okay.
Charlie, love you. We took over the show. Charlie's like, I gotta get
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah. I'm out. Y'all got this show. But if yeah, but
Well,
I
Anthony, you know what? I love your vibe. Like, I wanted to tell you this week before we get cut off. I don't know what's going on with the show, but I know that Charlie's
well,
doing
no,
it.
it's our
We
show
gotta
now.
connect. We gotta
If
connect.
I oh, I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said we got to connect, because I would love to connect with you on the other side of this, and because I think we can do some great things together. I mean, including, of course, Charlie. This is what I'm talking about. I think there's a reason for all of it, because I don't talk on people's show that much. I just felt the energy to be here, so I'm asking you, if you feel comfortable, I would love to reach out, and you have to meditate on it, whatever you need to do. But I would love to
I
connect with
don't
you.
have. Come on now. Y'all don't
I
have to
have to say. I
meditate
gotta say
on
what I
that.
gotta say. I have to say what
I don't have to meditate on that. It's not like, oh, I gotta figure out who she is. I know who you are. Come on. But
It's like,
look
you
here.
know what it is? It's like a disclaimer. It's like a
Yeah,
disclaimer.
that's right. That's right. But yeah, uh my show, the one Poetic People Fighting Racism.
Okay.
It's down in replay. Listen again.
I
You
gotta
can
check
go
that
to
out.
that, and I got a socio tap on that, so you can go to that, or actually even the I'm right show. It should be there too.
I'll check that out too.
So just go there and send me an email or Instagram or whatever you feel
Okay.
most comfortable with.
Yeah, I can do that. I can do that. Most definitely. Well, Charlie, I don't know where you are, my brother. I hope your phone's
No, if
okay.
I remember correctly, at 8 o'clock, he's got something else he has to do. if
And
I
he just
remember correctly.
Charlie just picked
Yeah,
up
he
and
was like,
left.
"I'm sorry." He's like, "I'm sorry, y'all," but nah, he's got something. He's got it's like a hard out.
Exactly. It's like I
He's like a hard
got
out. I'm out.
to go. So here we are, Queen Bee Divine and Anthony. We're holding the stage.
That's right. We done took over his show. Hey, but for
That is
real,
so funny to
I,
me.
I yeah, but for real, I've been listening to you for a while, right? But I kept saying, no, there's something missing. I'm watching him, but there's something missing. There's something else. There's something else there, because I know what you talk about in your show usually, and it's good stuff. All right, but
True.
I kept saying there's something else. There's something else. There's something else,
You are
and I
very
didn't
right.
hear it till last week.
You are very right because, like, I was talking to Charlie and we met on another app, and we there was a situation that he goes, that we can't do that as people, um we can't. He was pointing it out, and I was laughing to him too. I'm like, I know I can't do that. It's funny how people don't realize you can't do this. So we were talking, and I told him, because he, in his home personal life, and I said, I've already gone through it. I have been one, and you might know what I'm talking about just by thing. I said I have been one for years, but I didn't know how to get the audience to tell them the type of, black people. I'm gonna be straight up, black people, this is what I do, because I found that a lot of people, when they hear that I am a initiated priestess and that I know Santeria and I know how to do cleansing and remove and do all that, they get a little nervous. And I have to admit, I was shied about it, because I'm trying to get in myself included into this world, and I hear God, and Charlie was a knock on the door. You don't need them. If they don't resonate with you, then it's okay. You don't have to try to fit in anywhere. So that is why now I'm so vocal. I'm becoming vocal that this is what I do. This is what I do.
I
I
do,
go into the
but
darkness and I grab people. I do it in spirit. I do the work, and and I was been doing it for the community that I am now in. But people got a little scared, so I kind of stopped, and that's on me. So I kind of tried to do a back doorway of just, let me do a talk show and eventually I'll bring it out. But like I said, the universe said, no, this is when you're going to tell people. And that's why you heard it when I heard it. But there was no accident that you were the one that got to hear it. There is a reason for that. You know what I'm saying?
oh, absolutely no accident. Like, I'm with you 100%. That's why, like, you don't have to ask me if it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Type of people. This is
We
the
have
type
a
of people
connect.
I've
We
been
had
around.
never say it again.
These are the type of people I've been used to and comfortable. I have to, and I felt like I had to say, okay, meditate on it, da da da. And you're right, I have to get out of that and more, and own my power, because it's like, if you feel me, that's great. You know what I mean. And that's what I like about your energy, because you saw me coming and you said, yeah, I knew something was up. I knew it.
Charlie,
Charlie,
you're back. We
Charlie,
took.
where you going? Where you just take off? Where's Charlie gone?
I sincerely apologize. Just gonna be transparent. There's a lot of moving parts happening right now. Like, I'm like in a way of dismantling my room, and so with this new added element to my room, as much as I love it, I do love it, Anthony. As much as I love it, I had not took the time out before I got to the show, and I knew I should have, because I was like laying there and I'm like watching Day Shift. It just came out on Netflix, and I was just like, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna chill out. Like, I really need to take a break, and it's bad. And I'm not gonna rail off, but I'm gonna put this a little bit out there. I had a dream about my grandma earlier, and I was cleaning out this closet, and she was watching me clean out the closet, and she said, "Charlie, no, okay, yeah, she did. She said, Charlie. She said, Charlie, your body hurting." I said, "Yeah, it is hurting." And then she said, "You need to go outside." She's like, "You need to do something else." And then she said, "Look at you. Your walk not even the same no more." And then I woke up and I told my girlfriend about it. She's like, "She wants you to go have fun." And I said, "Yeah." And that's like really the first time I had dreamt about her, where she was talking to me since she passed. So, in all transparency, with everything that's been going on, I was just like, I need to take a mental break, right? And I'm watching the movie, and like I just keep saying to myself, how am I going to get this ring light positioned in my room? Like I don't want to move too much around.
Char- Charlie, I was gonna get with you on that. So you're good. Don't worry about that ring light.
Look, and I know it's a blessing. It's totally a blessing. I'm not complaining at all. That is not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is this room is about to get fully dismantled. And even in it being
That's
dismantled,
that's that's what I was gonna tell you. I was going, hey, you got to change some things in there. You got to change some things. So
definitely,
I got a bunch of stuff on my list to tell you.
yeah.
You got to change in there, but it's all good. But see, we we don't need the changes, but
Yeah.
the other people need the changes to receive you.
Uh-huh.
It, it's
Ooh, that's
it's
deep. See what's
yeah,
going on.
it's unfortunate that it's that way, but that's the way it is.
I get
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
And I
So there's
work.
certain things we got to do to make the people feel comfortable to
Yes.
Yes.
receive you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's exactly how I felt when it came to expressing who I was, because I know my ancestors were like, we didn't train you and teach you all this life experiences so you can go hide under your bed.
That's right.
You
Right.
need to come out. So,
Yes.
I totally, I totally agree with you that, and I was trying to be kind about it. I was like, okay, let me tell the world from the back end who I am. I do this and do this, and then when I'm ready, I'll drop it, and then I can hear the spirits like, you think it's gonna work that way, eh?
You think
You
that's gonna
think?
work? Yeah.
Yeah. And
Hey,
I
I
love it.
just want to say hi to Peter.
all right.
Hey, Peter, Woody, what's up?
Hey,
Peter, you are a fantastic man. I have seen you in other shows. I have seen you in Wendy's show. Um, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Peter.
And I think Peter knows what I'm talking about. But Peter has a good energy.
Nah, yeah,
hello,
it's
Peter.
all about the energy, and as I get into more and more in life, and when I used to say, pray or meditate and say, I don't want to be around bad people, or I want to have this, and I felt the energy goes, just use your power. What's wrong with you? You can feel it. Just stop people pleasing. When you don't feel the energy, you just keep walking. You don't got to explain nothing to nobody. Just keep walking. And that's what I've learned. And yeah, I've walked away from a lot of things because I even found on the social media apps, God, there's a lot of negative people out there. If you're not, they just they're like, what you call them, social media vampires if you're not careful. So I had to,
Yeah.
social media really helped me in that respect, that just because you can't see their face sometimes, and all you can see a fake facade, but it's to really genuinely get to know people and go, okay, you ain't good for me. I can't
Right.
explain it. So I've noticed that social media really helped me put my game on, and just to manifest people who will continue to elevate me, and that I can share my energy, and I can elevate them. It's a reciprocal energy. So as I said, I'm going to say it again: meeting you guys, meeting Charlie, meeting you, Anthony, having Peter and Woody in the room. There's no accident. It's all meant to be. So I'm looking forward to
That's
seeing what we're going to do together. Like, it's just about timing, and when we get the timing right.
oh yeah. No, it's gonna happen. Hey, but Charlie, this is your show.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna
Peter has
shut up.
left yeah, Peter has left a comment.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to read.
Okay. I'm not trying to run your show.
No, 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 no. I don't think that.
All right.
Peter wants you to know. He said, "Thanks. It takes a good person to know a good person, and his reputation precedes him." So he wanted to let you
Ah,
know.
well, cool. Thank you, Peter. Um,
Nice.
yeah, Peter, I've never spoken to you before. I mean, Well, Charlie would have to invite you to speak because it's not my show.
Oh yeah, feel free.
But I
Feel
would
free.
love to speak to Peter if he would like to come on up.
I think he's sending another message. But if he wants to come up, I'll definitely send him an invite. Yeah, whether you say yes or no.
Okay. Somehow you froze up for a minute, but you're good now.
Yeah. Now I'm drawing a blank. But no.
Okay.
Definitely. Everything that you.
So did
Go ahead.
Peter have another comment or no?
I invited him to the stage. I didn't see another comment come up per se. He
Okay.
just left the one comment.
All right.
I don't really think he's gonna
That's
come up.
okay.
So can
Okay.
I ask a
But
question? Can I ask a question, Charlie? When you do these talks and people are talking and we're having a good vibe, when you do a reading, are you doing a reading specifically in general for the energy, or is it for someone who's in the audience? Like, how does that work? I know I'm kind of derailing it. I don't mean to, but I'm kind of curious. So so me and Anthony and we're all having a conversation. When you do your readings, are you doing it specifically for a person or just the energy that you're feeling right now in the space? Does that make sense?
Yeah, when I do it, when I was doing the elements of readings, it's funny because I actually talked about this earlier with someone else. When I do the energetic reading for like elements and things like that, I pull from the collective. But I stopped doing that because it made me tired. So I was like, I'm gonna pull the energy of whom sees this. So whether you see it now or whether you see it later, because a lot of times I'll send replays out to people I personally know and people will personally come across it and everything like that. And so when that happens, I go from that. So usually when you hear me say I'm gonna do a reading for that person that's in the collective, that then you'll know I'm actually reading on an energetic level of who's gonna end up seeing this. So it's still kind of like the collective, but it's a particular in the collective. Hello, Peter. How are you?
Hey, I am good.
That's great.
Sorry, I didn't come up
It's good
sooner.
to
I
have.
was kind of like setting up my phone. Can I go on video or not?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. Feel free.
Actually, I'm not sure how that happens.
Charlie, you have to send them an invitation.
Oh, okay. Look, I do not know how it works.
See, that's why you need me. That's why
Your
you need
invitation
me.
is in the mail. Your invitation's in the mail. Peter, it's coming.
There we go.
I actually
Hey, how you
found out
doing,
how it
sir?
works too, because I have a show starting in just a couple of weeks.
Oh, do you?
Okay, awesome.
But I had
What's your show about?
about my show. I was actually sitting here painting, and I was like, let's see what's going on over at Fireside. I was like, hey, like for some reason, Charlie, the name rung a bell to me, and that's why from Wendy's show.
Awesome.
A while ago, you got a good memory.
Again, not an accident. So, Charlie, that you're here. This is you can see it's Anthony speaking, and I'm also a creator on Fireside. I have two shows. One with me and my wife. I'm right, and the other one is Poetic People Fighting Racism. Double PFR, and the first episode was last Saturday. Yeah, but I've seen you a couple of times on Fireside as a guest. And did I already say the three of us have gifts? Did I say that, Peter, to you?
I think I heard something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so the three of us have gifts. Each one of us has different types of gifts, and some the same. So I have never forgotten you because I remember when Wendy interviewed you. And I'm not going to say what she said and all of that, but she said some things that really hurt you, like for real. And I'm wondering, like, what type of friend does that? But you didn't say anything. You didn't call her on it or anything else.
I guess,
Um,
I honestly don't remember that aspect of it. I think
uh,
sometimes Cindy might have like a, she knows me so well that perhaps her sense of humor can come off that way, and maybe I knew it was her sense of humor, but I don't recall.
okay. Well, let me rephrase it then. She does this type of thing to you often, and it's been so often that you would just let it go, but it hurts you. So she made comments about your weight and you being in a wheelchair. And she said it hurt you, but you let it pass. Do you remember
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Wheelchair and a
yeah.
hill.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, man,
So
Anthony, your
it
memory
did
is
hurt
so
you.
good,
Yes.
man.
Yeah, no, because I can feel it when you have that pain, when you have that emotion, I can feel it. So I know what you felt. Um and you don't have to do that because you're fantastic. You're amazing. You're like my idol of all the things you have done.
Well, I really appreciate
So yeah, so just remember that because every time, and I won't just talk about her, but if every time anyone does something like that to you and you let it pass, you're killing a part of yourself.
it.
So I guess I was really happy to see when you were in the audience because I've been wanting to tell you that, but I didn't want to seek you out to tell you.
Wow, how wild that I just, saw what was here and tapped on it, and here you are.
Yeah, but it wasn't wild. All of these things are supposed to happen. I was supposed to tell you that. I was supposed to tell you about what you're letting pass, and you shouldn't let it pass anymore
Well, I
because you're
appreciate it.
too incredible. You're too incredible. You're too incredible for that.
And excuse my naivete, but what is the crux of your show in you, Anthony?
I figured you'd ask a question like that. My show has nothing to do with my gifts. So the show my wife and I have is I'm Right, I'm Right. It has more to do with my mission, but we try to show people that you can have a loving relationship, whether it's with your spouse or a good friend or whatever, and you can have disagreements. Um, but you don't have to go into anger or hatred or all these negative energies. You can have these conversations and come to some type of agreement in the end. Now, the other show I just launched, it is called Poetic People Fighting Racism, double PFR. But that show is actually designed to bring people together, not so much to show the difference between us. So even though it has racism in the title, and whenever there's racism in a title, people in this country do not gravitate towards it.
Amen.
They don't gravitate. So it might take me a little bit to build it, but with people like you, Peter, that understand discrimination in this country, you are the type of people I need to come to my show. Because in this and the other thing I do about my show is it's actually about racism and the caste system in the United States. And a lot of people don't realize we live in a caste system, but black people are on the bottom and people go up from there. But if you're in a wheelchair, you're in the caste system. If you're any different color, you're in the caste system. If your nationality is different, you're in the caste system in this country. So the only people this country likes are the people that are just like them. Otherwise, they don't. So we all fall victim to it. But really, I'm going to point that out within the show. And I do poetry. So I do spoken word poetry. And then I'm going to be bringing other poets on the show. But anything that a person can use. So if they're an artist, they've done a painting, they want to show their art, great. If they're a musician, they wrote some great music that shows what it's like in this country, great. I just want to bring people together and show what we're really living under. And then we try to learn from each other. We try to learn that all of us, that's our strength. That's our strength. We're all really together. We're all really connected. It's easy for someone to say, but this is something I know for a fact because of my gifts. And
So
I'll stop there.
shows sound amazing, and everything you said sounds amazing. And I've never heard someone speak so succinctly to what's in my mind. So I am on board for sure. I can't wait.
Wonderful, wonderful. I can't wait. So are you going to be I'm 9 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. Not this Saturday. I'm going to skip a week because that's a dark place to be in every week. So it'll be every other week. So my
That
next
PM,
show is not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday.
that PM or AM?
PM.
Ah, nice. Okay, so 6 p.m. here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm pretty sure that I follow you, so you'll probably get a notice that it's coming up.
Is that going to be your first episode?
That'll be
That
my second episode.
Yeah, because that ironies of all ironies, my show's on Saturday at 3 p.m. PST, and
Oh,
I'm doing
wait.
my first test show this Saturday, but my first official show is Saturday, September 3rd. So it'll technically be my second show, but my first show is just kind of like a test of the format so I can get my RSS feeds to all the places.
Everything to work. Yeah, I had that issue with my first show. Hopefully, it'll be worked out on my next one. Oh, that's great. So, what's the show going to be called?
So first of all, though, that's some pretty crazy synchronicity, isn't it? That we're both on Saturday with our technical second shows.
Hey, everybody else that's here doesn't think it's crazy synchronicity. No, it's right on time. It's right on time. So I'll be there. This
Yeah,
is
so my
cool.
show is it's called All Walks of Life: Let's Inspire. And so, it's going to be people from all walks of life, but especially from all walks of my life. And the goal of the show is pure inspiration. So Like one of my guests that I'm a huge Chicago Cubs fan, and this gentleman Miguel Esperanza is the Chicago Cubs Spanish language announcer. He's going to be one of my guests. But it was his dream to be now he's the announcer for the Chicago Cubs, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Chicago Bulls. And we're not going to talk so much about him being an announcer as to what his journey in life to get there was. And then the end of the show is going to be like just vomiting inspiration to especially a younger generation to, make, if they dream to be an announcer, let's inspire. Let's let them, give them the keys to what it takes to become a professional baseball announcer, and et cetera, et cetera,
That's cool. I'm looking forward to it. You see, you do what my wife does. My wife is a former journalist, and she always looks for the other. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they're known for being a such and such singer, but that's not what she focuses on. She focuses on truly who they are, not them being a singer. And that usually hits the spot. She's done interviews for CNN. They just brought them back out, and she doesn't work there anymore. But you could check out the Red Chair interviews. Search that, and you don't see her, but she is the one that asks all the questions to get the actor or singer to say what they say. I think Shaka Khan's one was called God Shots, I believe, if you look that up. But I think I took over Charlie's show.
Yeah,
Charlie, wake up.
Charlie's sitting
Charlie,
there.
wake up.
Totally hijacked the show.
I was listening.
Sorry, get away, man.
No.
Yeah.
I was listening because like that's what this show is supposed to be. It's supposed to be where people can come up and talk about what's on their hearts and what they want to say, to just get it out and just vent. That's what the show is all about. And it doesn't necessarily have to be negative or heavy stuff that they want to share. Sometimes it can just be, what they are inspiring towards, or what their goals are, or like what they're currently doing, or just to say what's up. So no, you did it right. That's exactly what was supposed to happen. What happened just now is the format of the show. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
You still, I know, and here's me jumping in. Are you gonna do a play? you gonna use your cards today?
Well, let's bring Peter in. Charlie usually
Yeah.
comes in his show and he does these tarot card readings. Do you need one? Oh, if it's all right with Charlie, that is. I keep trying to take over.
Well, you know what? We are 33 minutes past the end show time, and I haven't done say it one more time.
Your show ends at 5 p.m.
Well, yeah,
for your time, for me, it's 8:00.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'll do it like this. Let's say it like this. If you're willing to give a donation, okay, cool. But I'll do a little light one because I'm trying to get in the habit of not doing free ones. That's my whole thing. Like, I'll end up doing free ones all the time if I do free ones. And that's what the collective readings are for. But because I have not touched my cards in a week, and I've been pushing towards that segment, but we get in such a good conversation and in good company, I don't mind doing one. How's that to be said?
That's great, and please just lead me to how to donate for my reading for sure.
Okay. Do you do Cash App or PayPal or anything like that?
PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, you name it.
Okay, I got all of them. So if you want to, what you can do is go over to Cash App, and my Cash App is, it's a kind of technical. Hold on, wait. Let me put it up here really quick, so I won't have to like.
Right now so I don't leave this website. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm putting it where the fortune cookie is. That's my Cash App. And yeah, we can get going. We can just go ahead. If you're comfortable doing a reading, are you comfortable doing a reading?
Yeah, like especially since you're a little low on time, I've got a very specific question in my head, so we could.
And by the way, Charlie, how much is it?
Yeah, what's a symbolic
Typically,
donation?
since it's a little lightweight, it would be like $25 for 15 minutes. But with a donation, give what's on your heart. Um, I'm not going to force you or nothing like that or anything like that because I do believe in getting what I'm worth, but at the same time, I just told you can put in a donation because it's very on the spot for you and it's very on the spot for me. So,
Hey, but here's
but
what's funny. Here's what's funny. I'm in your show, and I gave Peter a reading.
yeah, you did. You did. You picked this card. I was just like, yo, he didn't even ask. He just did it.
Well, yeah, but
I was nervous for you. My stomach was in knots for you. I was like, oh no.
But it was on me, Peter. I've been holding on to that since that show, and I knew I would talk to you one day.
Yeah, and that I believe that was back in April, Anthony.
Yeah, but hey, and the other thing is that I love you. I say that all the time. I really have love for you because I can.
And send it back.
Thank you, because I truly can feel you. So you're a really, really good man. Actually, hey, I'm getting ready to do it again, and then I'm gonna stop. You're a better man than you realize. And that's it. I'm not saying anything else. I'm going mute.
I receive it. Charlie, and I just want to remember
Okay.
your sign there is for Cash App, you said, right? The handle you gave me is
Yes,
for
sir.
Cash App? Okay.
Yep. Did you was it okay? All right. I got a few questions first, if that's all right with you. First, may I read you?
Yes.
Okay. If any of your ancestors walk up, can I speak to them? Wait, I can't hear you. What did you say?
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, okay. And could you say your name for me 3 times, please?
Peter Sobe, Peter Sobe, Peter Sobe.
That was weird. I didn't feel any sensation from you. That was weird. Okay. Did you have a question in mind? I heard you say something like that.
I do, yeah, if that's appropriate.
Okay. Go ahead.
I should go ahead and ask you my question?
Yeah, you can ask me a question.
Should I drive again or not drive again?
Should you drive again?
Yes. I spent 30 years driving from my wheelchair and lost my van. But I'm getting a new van, but I don't feel sure if I should be a driver anymore.
Should you drive again? I'm getting a no on that. Did you already feel like a no?
Yeah, the universe basically told me not to drive again.
Yeah. So I got the. So if they would have been in the upright, they would have been yes. Very positive cards. But Wands in reverse, and then the Knight of Wands in reverse. And I'm gonna ask something, but only because like the cards that fell out. Because this is just a yes or no question. Typically, I don't do yes or no questions, but I've shot for the yes and no because I've gotten better at it because I take yes or no all the time. But is there a woman in your life that feels very adamant about you not driving?
Yeah, yeah. I
And
guess she's like
she like
85%. She's 85% not driving.
yeah, and when she expresses it to you, does she come across like a little pushy?
Definitely.
Yeah, I knew. I knew because of the Queen of Wands, because of the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. That's an energy that's like, first of all, it can be a really flighty energy if we're talking about in a love aspect. But when it comes to just like expressing to someone like how they feel, this person here can be really aggressive and really over the top, like in a very bombarding type of way. There's an expression for it, but I'm not going to use the expression that we normally use just out of respect. But yeah, she just is like, nah, no, you're not doing it. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you feel. You're not doing it. Like even if she caught you in the midst of doing it, she might go so far as to yank you out of the car. So like, yeah, yeah. Is there like a different
Hey,
question you
can
want
I
to ask?
chime in,
Go ahead, sure. I don't care. Go ahead.
Charlie?
Yeah,
Oh, hey, everybody's breaking up. Did you hear me, Charlie? Can I chime in?
yeah, sure.
Yeah, I see you shake your head, but I couldn't hear you. Okay, Peter, I got the same thing. And for me, as soon as you asked the question, the answer was no. But I understand your independence. But I also understand that you know that it's probably not right. But the problem was with this other person. The other person was kind of like messing with your ego. So that's the only reason it gave you a reason to doubt whether you should drive again. You're like, oh, I'm not going to let her prove me wrong. I'm not going to let her be right. I'm a man. I can do what I want to do. And that was the only reason. But you really feel yourself that, nah, I don't feel comfortable with it. I shouldn't do it. So are we on the mark?
Yep, both of you have been
All
right on.
right. Cool. That's good. All right, I'm gonna mute myself again.
Is there you got any more questions for me? Like, just shoot, go ahead. Cause you got like 10 minutes.
Um, wow, let's see. That one was pretty clear and concise and quick. And it definitely helps me out a lot. So I got to make a major decision on that pretty fast.
Mhm.
Um,
You just want to shoot in the dark and give you whatever message that you need to hear?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Give me a message.
Sure. Okay. Tell me what Peter needs to know. Peter. There might be somebody. There might be somebody lying around you. Like, when it comes to messages, or maybe like when it comes to moving, like they might be talking about moving. You guys might have been talking about moving or moving parts or something like that. But I know with the Seven of Swords and with the Eight of Wands, there's someone that might be lying about a move or lying about some type of communication that's happening. Um, and with that card is usually like in the way of like text messages, letters, emails, something like that.
Wow, Charlie, blow my mind, man, because I you brought up this woman. Okay, we used to date 20 years ago, and we've just been great friends ever since. But you nailed her personality, and I think that her energy entered this session because her mother, so basically, my dear friend that you nailed her personality, adopted a girl who's now almost 8 years old, and her mother lives out here with them, and that's like her only safety net is her 83-year-old mother, who I'm also good friends with. And her mother just told her daughter, my dear friend, that she's going to uproot herself and move to New York out of nowhere. And it totally upset my dear friend, the daughter. And I know Nancy is the name of her mother. I know Nancy really well. And I told Anjali, her daughter, my dear friend, my contemporary, that Nancy is just doing this to rile you up for some reason. You both know how to push each other's buttons, and there's no way she's truthfully going to uproot herself and move to New York. So it's crazy that you would bring up someone is talking about moving, and it's not truthful. That's absolutely right.
And even with this, so with you and this person, right? With you, that must have been the thing that goes like, he needs to talk about this. But so with the King of Cups in reverse, and then with the Moon in the reverse, this person here, they have a way of getting you discombobulated, and it's not just in your head, and it's not just with perception. It's also in your emotions. They stir up a lot of things when it comes to this person and how they do and how they are. And even when you heard this, it might have stirred you a bit in a way of how you wanted to. You might have wanted to say something about it or something like that. And the only reason I say that is because the Five of Wands, that's people. We're talking about conflicts right now. And it might be circumstances along with those conflicts, because those people can be just people who are outside of the circumstances of what is, or the circumstances themselves. But it's like, this new thought, or this thought that it's two ways. It could go two ways. It's the conversation of the conflicts, or it's, if I say this, it'll create conflict. And I feel like it's more, if I say this, it'll create conflict.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And it is, it's like a dark cloud over me. It's like, why do I have to absorb all this?
Right. Clarify it for you. Listen, it might be that it's time to like really let this person go, or let go of the situation altogether, because this is like holding on, and it's holding on because you don't have the strength to let go of them, right? And it could be like all sorts of like, you could be doing little things. This is kind of weird. It's not weird because I know what it is. You could be doing things to make it so it's like, I don't have to give as much as this person is trying to pull me into, or even balance out with me, because I don't want to be as involved as this person believes that I want to be as involved, which is kind of funny because it gets back to that Seven of Swords and the Eight of Wands. It is, you know what it is because you reflected so much on how this person is, right? You reflected so much on how this person is and how you've gone through with them, how you've grown as a person, and all that good stuff. You just look at it and you say, let's see what you say. Hold on. What do you say? I need a break from you. Like, I need to rest. And it's also like, it's not just in the way of like just separating from them, but in your mental space, because this person occupies so much of your mental space. Her energy is just the same way it shoved itself in this reading is the same way it shoves itself in your life. Yeah, that makes sense. And so, but this is something. This isn't the first time this ever happened. This is how this is. This is a repeated cycle over and over again. This is something that absolutely had been done for a really long time, but it's just something that just kind of keeps trying to rebuild. And with the Tower, we know this much. Rebuilding on this dead foundation, because divinity took it out. God took that stuff out your life way a long time ago. This person and what they do and how they are, it cleared that space so stuff, other things could come in and build a brand new tower that wouldn't lead you to this place of damnation or just being tired out or being drained, because that's what this tower is all about. The Hermit, the last card we just saw, when he gets to this tower, he sees all those people falling out, and he sees the lightning strike before they fall out. He sees them and he remembers like how he built that tower for community, for union, for higher thought and higher rhetoric, but it changed over time, and it changed into something that wasn't good for society as a whole and for himself. So when he looks at it, he sees all the guilt and everything and the shame that he feels when it comes to this tower. But so when that tower comes down, it's a dead foundation, and that's what this card is saying. Like, this, how it does and how it is and how it functions is it's been dead for a really long time, and like it kind of creates this storm, right? To build on this creates this storm, and then we get to the devil. And the thing about the devil is, the devil talks about all these bad habits and all these toxicities and things like this. But when we talk about the devil, the one thing we can note on a card is that these people are on these chains that are more than capable of coming out of the chains themselves. But that's not what happens. They keep that chain on because they're used to those habits. They're used to those things. They use those vices. Like, that's just a part of them. And it's their desires, and that's what they don't understand. It's more of a desire than it is a need. So like, it just, every time this kind of revisits into your life, it's just like a storm. Like, it never brings any reciprocity. It never brings any calm. It just brings a lot of conflict with it every single time this energy comes around. So with that being said, this person, I don't even think they value you the way that they should value you. And, that leaves you with resentment. And you're just like, I'm not having it. You're just like, no, I'm not okay with it. And understand, that's not something that's ever going to change. And the reason why that won't change is because it's a subconscious thing. Like, how that works and how that is and how she treats you is very much subconscious. So you're being told, focus on yourself. Build up your coins. Be in the way of yourself. Like, give yourself some self-love and all that you do. And it could even be like, and I'm not trying to get in your business and it's none of my business, but even if you kind of like, if you give money in that situation, they're like, no, don't give money in that situation. Keep everything to yourself. Give yourself that good loving that you're looking for, because you deserve it and what you do and who you are. And this person doesn't value it as much as you would think they should. They know that they should, but they don't. And so with that being said, I know that you haven't really came into a full decision of like letting it go, and that's fine. Like, sleep on it and really reflect on it, because I know it's something that you do all the time. You're always in your mental space thinking about it. When this energy rolls back around, you're in your mental space about it. But take some time out and really look at it and feel how you feel about it, and assess it, and learn to appreciate yourself and appreciate the small things in life that are there. Because when you appreciate yourself and you appreciate the things in life that you have and who you are, a lot of things will start to blossom into your life. And the way you can do that is just say little things like, I appreciate like life. I appreciate the air. I appreciate this food. And I know, like, I get it, because sometimes it can be really tough. And I'll never be able to fully understand what it's like to be in a wheelchair ever. None of us will, who are able to still use ourselves entirely. But for you personally, and your struggles and how they look and how they are, there's still a lot of beautiful things that happens to you in life, and a lot of beauty that you see, and that's just who you are as a person. And you have to get back to that place of seeing things and being able to appreciate them, even though all around you can't see that. It's just a way of perception. And just know, in what you're about to do and how you're about to take on the world, do a little more researching, a little more resourcing, do a little more networking. Know that you have a lot of available things to you and how they are and what they look like when it comes to bringing in new parts of your life and just revealing yourself to the world. Um, Also, at the same time, there are some things going on in your heart space that you have to take care of. Um, Remember to love yourself and remember to always give on to yourself, but at the same time show that expression towards everybody else as well, but and know when not to give it. That's super important, when and when not to give it. But at the same time, when you do that, it starts to unblock all those things that's sitting on you, that sits in your heart, that just stops you and limits you as a person, because that's not who you are. And you're releasing these attachments. Know that you're releasing these attachments. You're going to heal from this person in this situation and how it is, because you understand, and the hostilities are over. The fighting is done. As soon as you let go of it, is as soon as it's done. Because you give them access to you. You choose when they can talk to you. Because you don't go looking for them, they come looking for you. And that's because they know how good of a heart you have. How that feel? How you feel about that reading?
Man, Charlie, that was a reading and then some. I'm truly blown away, man.
Good. I'm
Seriously.
glad. I'm glad. I hope you can.
You have a
I
gift.
just hope it can help. Thank you. Thank you. I just tell me how you feel right now outside of what just happened, like in your own mental space, in your own heart space. How do you feel about this situation? If you want to give to it, if you want to give your energy into more of what we're talking about right now, that's okay. And if you don't want to, you can shut it down. But how do you feel right now?
No, I think it was very insightful to me because I think that you kind of like nailed a solution for me as far as like letting go of the situation. Like it would be hard to let go of the friendship, but everything you said about it was correct. And I think if I let it go situation to situation, that I think it will build to a whole different relationship. Because I just allow myself to be a sponge for this negativity, and I got to put an end to that because it is, hanging over me. And yeah, it's like you've given me like strength and inspiration to take that sort of action.
Awesome. Awesome.
It's
And
really,
whenever you want to come back into the space and you just want to talk, go ahead.
I was saying it seems like really basic, but that thought wasn't even in my head, so I needed to hear that for sure.
I'm glad. Whenever you want to talk, I'm here. If you just want to come up on stage and you want to talk about it, I'm here. That's what this space is meant for. It's meant to talk, to heal, to talk about the things we don't get to talk about, to just give voice to people who feel like there's not a lot of time in the day where anybody gives them the time of day. So, I'm here for you, and I want you to move forward and handle this how you feel. Just because I say what I said about it, it's still your experience. You're still dealing with that person, and there's still emotions tied. So it's very easy for me to say let it go, but at the same time, you process it how you want to process it. You do with it how you want to do with it, and take your time and give yourself grace and a space to really mold this over and decide how you want to do it, because at the end of the day, this is your life and how you do and what you do. But I'm here for you, and I love you, and I hope you move forward and bring in some new people with some new energy to really give on to you.
I appreciate that, Charlie, and I accept the love. I send it back, and I'm glad I stumbled on this show and got to meet you and hear what Anthony had to say. It's been a pretty revelatory afternoon.
Awesome. I'm glad.
Hey,
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for your
hey,
time.
I love both of you, but I'm going to bed. so
All right. I think that's a good
everybody
point
have
to
a
end.
good day and a good night, and I'll see you in your show, Peter.
And vice versa, Anthony.
All right, love you.
Love you, brother.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, Anthony. See you later, man.
Charlie,
So,
thanks for
I guess I'll end it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take your
thanks for
time.
extending, thanks for extending the show for me. I really appreciate it and appreciate everything.
Nah, I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving me your energy and allowing me to help you out and just to give your energy onto you and you know just allowing me to do what I do best. So thank you.
And I will be tuning in again. I look forward to our paths crossing many times in life here.
I hope so too. Send me a notification so I can follow you and I want to see your show.
Definitely.
All right, I'll see you soon, Peter.
Have a great night, Charlie.
Peace and blessings. You too. All right, for my people that's watching on Twitch, for my people that's watching on YouTube, for my people that's watching on the replay, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for giving your energy onto me. Thank you for spending time and talking to me. Thank you for all my guests for today, Queen B, Anthony, and Peter. I'm hoping to see more people on the show. I'm hoping to have more of this energy happen where we have more of these spiritual conversations or just talk about conversations that's on our heart and just be honest and just be vulnerable as human beings with one another. I love each and every one of you. I'm Charlie Lyric, and I'm asking what's on your heart and hoping it's love. Peace and blessings. Ashe.